So Kanye West tried to explain last night why he's not anti-Semitic. And in so explaining, he said things that were super anti-Semitic.
Yeah, and the question, as we've been trying to parse this soundbite, which we're about to play for you, trying to pick it apart here, does he understand that he is being more anti-Semitic and trying to explain that he's not anti-Semitic? Here's what he said. So he was in Nashville, actually, went to a Candace Owen premiere, an event that she held there. And we'll get into
a documentary.
Yeah, documentary, a premiere of her documentary. We'll get into who he was there with, because that's a whole different thing. But as he was leaving, he was asked about the anti-Semitic remarks, and does he have any regrets?
Do you wish harm on Jewish people?
No way. But I do feel that in Hollywood, especially with black entertainers, I've had a lot of bad experiences. And if people use that anti-Semite idea to cover up bad business, to say, hey, if you call somebody out on bad business, that means you're being anti-Semitic. So I feel happy to have crossed the line of that idea so we can speak openly about, doing things like getting canceled from the bank. A lot of this stuff for me is the richest black man in American history that put $140 million in JP Morgan and never even had a chance to not even get deals for it.
So I got to say, so what he's using is this trope that Jewish people run Hollywood, and Hollywood has screwed over black entertainers, and therefore Jewish people have screwed black entertainers over in Hollywood. I mean, I don't know how else to look at that.
That is what he's saying. And look, it is, as he said, I'm glad I crossed that line so we can have a conversation. Okay, let's have a conversation, Kanye. And I wish someone could sit down and have that conversation with him to say, I hear what you're saying, that you feel you were screwed over, right? That's legit. He can feel that way. And maybe he actually was. But the problem is when you start saying that all Jewish people screwed me over and all Jewish people screw over black entertainers,
and suggest death to Jewish people,
and then
with
do the DEFCON 3 thing, that's anti-Semitic, as opposed to what
he can redefine. He can redefine it whatever way he wants to redefine it, but that doesn't make it. That doesn't make it not anti-Semitic.
Well, if someone, look, I don't know if Kanye actually is anti-Semitic or not, but what he is saying is definitely anti-Semitic.
When you connect the dots, I don't know how you see it otherwise.
Well, that's the thing that's kind of puzzling about this, because he continues to kind of push this agenda that, oh, I've been silenced, I haven't been allowed to say what I've wanted to say. He has said the wrong things for years, but this is the first time we're seeing some real consequences. At least I feel that way. Whether it's the bank pulling out, whether it's the interview not being aired, whether it's we haven't seen support from his family, and probably understandably so, because we know they have tried to help him in the past, and Kanye wants to do Kanye, and until he says, hey, I need some help here, I think that we've really seen him continue to isolate himself.
You know what? That is such an important point. But I have a question about that. If Kanye needed to perform or needed to sell whatever he wants to sell, that's one thing. But he's already a billionaire. He can write his own ticket. He can do what he wants to do. I feel like he enjoys the scorn. I mean, that's honestly the way I look at it, that he actually is enjoying that people are paying attention, that they're getting upset, they're getting angry, because I feel like he thinks he's connecting somehow.
Well,
so I wonder, when you say there are consequences, I get it, but there are conventional consequences, and I don't know whether he cares about the conventional consequences anymore.
I hear that point too, but I think this is the first time that these consequences are actually sticking, right? I mean, I don't know the last time we saw brands actually pull out or his family totally ignore him, not try and get him help. We don't see other celebrities backing him. Candace Owens backs him, but she's about the only one other than Ray J, who just showed up for some PR stunt last night.
I think you're right that he does enjoy the scorn of the Kardashians. Like, he wants and needs that conflict, and that's the only explanation I have for that image of Kanye, Ray J, and Kid Rock hanging out together at this event last night.
Brad, is
Ray
there,
J, like,
Brad, do you
is
have
this
any
an enemy
info
of my
on-
enemy?
Yeah,
is my best friend
my
thing?
friend. Do you have any info on why Ray J showed up to this?
So all I know is that it was Candace who coordinated this, obviously, and you know Candace released that voicemail earlier this week, an old one from Kim, where she called Whitney Houston an old hag or something like that, alluded to them being crackheads. So it
Referring
appears
to
that
when Ray J was dating back in the day when Ray J was dating Whitney Houston.
at least what I'm told is this is Candace trying to show her allegiance to Kanye, because remember, Kanye has said, oh, Kim has kidnapped my kids, my family has alienated me from my kids. So this is Candace saying, hey, I'm taking your side. Let's make Kim look bad. And you know who else could make her look bad? Ray J.
But he is playing along, it seems, right?
Ray J is, and Ray J has.
Hi, I'm Tony from Maryland, and I think at this point, Kanye is just so enveloped and obsessed with the chaos that his behavior is causing, but there's nothing that anybody can really do to stop him at this point. Between doxing his own kids because they don't want to go to his school, which is a whole other mess in and of itself, but with the things that he's saying on Twitter, the things that he's posting on Instagram, these random rants, people like to blame it on his mental health issues. But I think he's at this point addicted to the chaos.
I think that's
the problem.
I
is
think that's
he's-
exactly right.
I think
he is addicted to the chaos. That is.
The problem is the more he gets addicted, the more he's isolating himself.
Right.
Kanye in isolation is a bad situation.
But here's the thing about his isolation. He's still being covered. So as long as he's being covered, I mean,
maybe he doesn't. Then maybe he doesn't feel like he's isolated. As long as he has
as
the
long as
attention
people keep talking and talking and talking, I think that's the end game.